Street Fighter 6 is a very volatile game. Things can go really bad really quickly in Street Fighter 6, and one of the main contributors to this is level 3 supers and by extension critical arts. They deal massive damage to your opponent, they have a lot of minimum scaling, but also they heavily impact the drive economy. You get to regenerate your drive gauge, you get to damage their drive gauge. Most of them give boost follow-up Oki, maybe even put them in burnout, and then you get a checkmate situation. They are extremely important in that snowballing factor. But you already know about this. I even made a video about why level 3 supers are so strong. I think that's even before Street Fighter 6 came out, as this is pretty much obvious. But the thing is, level 3 and critical arts, I do think there is a lot more differences to them that first meets the eye. So these two, Amarindo Walla'inin, but they are different. Sure, there are some characters for example Ryu, right? His level 3 and his critical arts are extremely identical almost. Sure, there is the difference of how much damage and how much damage to their drive you're doing, but the boost super situation is pretty much identical. You're +8 and you are at that jump distance or so. You don't really get to do that much. It's not an amazing situations. And there is the other extreme situations like Jamie. Jamie, a character who with his regular level 3 he gets this juggle state where he gets to continue on the combo, but with the critical art it's like a set knockdown. So today we're gonna examine the differences because they are different, trust me, and different enough to be significant, and sometimes level 3s will even be better than critical arts, if you want to have that snowballing comeback factor. So let's discuss. One of the characters where the differences is actually fairly significant, although it's just a couple of frames, but they make all the difference, is a character like Cammy. With her level 3, she will end up at +17 advantage from the lovely drive rush distance. But if you go for the critical art, you are left at almost the same spacing, but Cammy got +22 frames. So you might be wondering, well, I mean, that's cool, right? But why do you think Capcom did this? Why do you think Capcom? Because there is the devil is in the details, as they say. So she gets drive rush Oki both ways regardless, right? But here is the difference. If you go for the drive rush after a level 3 super, Cammy can't whiff jab and block many of the invincible reversals, whether we're talking level 1s or wake up ODDB. Obviously depend on the startup of the move, but if it's fast enough, she can't block, she gets punished. But on a critical art, which is insane because it already does so much damage to the drive, she can drive rush wave jab, she can bait, making this a much better Oki positioning because the reversal is not even guaranteed for the opponent. They can't react to your drive rush, they still have to guess, making it such a powerful Oki and snowballing factor. But for other characters the difference is maybe small as well, but you may not realize them. Case in point, a character like Kimberly. Kimberly will knock you down with her level 3 or the critical art. Both of them will leave her at a +18 advantage, I believe, but the spacing, if you notice, is actually a little bit different. The critical art leaves Kimberly a little bit closer. After a regular level 3, Kimberly can't really tag you with a normal, her medium kick, her heavy punch, both of them will whiff. But after the critical art, she can immediately tag you with a normal. You don't get to move. But more importantly, after the critical art, Kimberly is in range to walk up and throw your wake up button. She does get a legit walk up throw at this position, something that she's not able to after the level 3, meaning that this is now a much more powerful positioning, right? This is a legit throw Oki mix-up. Much more powerful. But other characters take this to more and much more dramatic states. Take a character like JP. Because this one is actually really big. After his regular level 3, this is something I actually do believe Capcom nerfed a while ago. After his level 3, he will be at a +22 or so advantage, right? And what most JP players will do is instantly instantly set up the portal. But the thing is, at this advantage, he will be negative enough, I think like minus 17, minus 18, to the point where some characters, if they woke up with like supers and the super is fast enough, he actually can get punished. And others, even like Bison, can just OD Psycho Crusher through and like negate the whole situation. It's actually kind of ridiculous. But if JB goes for the critical art, he is at plus 40. I think there's like 42 or like 44 frame advantage. He's so plus at that point that he can set, I think it's plus 44, that he can set up the portal and he still got plus frames. This is a dramatic difference because now whatever he does afterwards is gonna be like a legit check, unlike like him being potentially punished prior. Liking it so far and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Also, if you're sure that Capcom will save Street Fighter 6, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Let's continue the video. But then you head into the territory where some characters will have level 3s that sets up a better post super Oki. Really important if you want to go for that snowballing scenario than the critical arts. Case in point, a character like Luke. This one is very minuscule, it's very small, but it's actually pretty significant. Luke's level 3 super will leave him a little bit closer than the critical art, where after the level 3 super he can tag you with like a heavy punch, he can tag you with a medium kick, but he can't after the critical art. The critical art is a little bit further. It's not a very dramatic difference because the frame advantage is the same, but because you are closer, you can immediately check with a heavy punch, you can check them trying to walk back with a crouching medium kick. It put him in a better situation if he wanna snowball and get the offense going. Other characters, the ones that I play right now, Mr. Terry Bogard, is actually what inspired me to do this video in its entirety. Because if I am going for a comeback, I am much better using his level 3s and his critical art. They set up a totally different scenario. Level 3 will put you at like a plus 22 frames and from like the jump distance, where the critical art would put him at a plus 37, but he's almost like full screen away. Terry is really far at this point. And the plus 22 is great because he gets to have a drive rush and then be able to grab. He can drive rush and block with like, if he waved like a jab and paid the reversals, he can just dash up and be plus 3, so you get to check with a crouching medium punch. But after the critical art, he's so far away where even timing the drive rush follow-up is a lot more tricky. And if you're trying to set up the same positioning as the level 3, you need to dash up first, dash up, then you're gonna be plus 18. And at that point, if you're trying to go for the same timing, you can't with jab and block reversals. And you can't even like whiff like medium bar knuckle or whatever. And if you are the one who is burnt out, like at least with a level 3, I can meterless dash up and have like plus 3 pressure, have some sort of offense. With the critical art, you don't. Like if you dash twice, you're still hella negative, so you can't really do that. If I want to snowball the opponent and I want to make a comeback, in many ways, level 3 is better than the critical art. That is so weird. This is one of these cases where it's like it's flat out better. And Terry is not even like a character that can just throw fireball and then walk up behind it. He doesn't have like that Chun-Li guile factor, so I don't know. This one is really weird to me. But a character that puts this whole thing to an extreme is Blanka. I think Blanka's critical art is messed up in many ways that people may not realize. So the level 3 super puts Blanka at a plus 50 advantage, which is so much, but Blanka is full screen. Critical art puts him at plus 14, and he's up closer. This plus 14 sucks. This is trash because he can drive rush into pressure. He can at most check use like his that forward heavy punch, but he's not getting that much afterwards, right? At plus 50, he can dash up, then drive rush, and he gets like legit meaties. He can grab you, he can drive rush and still bait reversals. He can even body Blanka Shan and still be able to exert like some sort of follow-ups because he's gonna be neutral at that point. And it's full screen, so at least he can't even do that. I don't know why he's getting punished for the critical art. Another thing that's weird about his critical art as well is that his own drive meter regeneration is less on critical art than the level 3 super. Level 3 supers, he get like 1.5 drive gauge back, but with critical art, he doesn't even get 1 bar back. That is so weird, and I don't know why it's that way. I think it's bugged or like something that was overlooked by Capcom, because it doesn't make any sense. And that's about it. It's Mura pretty much giving you a totally pointless video, some information that maybe if you're at the top 0.001% of players may matter, but I think it's pretty cool. And it gives the game a lot more depth. Something that personally, as someone who plays 30 right now, I felt, and I really had to look up into this. It's so much fun. Anyways, if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.